Welcome to TechBrothersIT. In this video, we are going to take a look how to use OPENROWSET with schema. So in our previous video, we were reading all the columns from files such as CSV, Parquet file, or JSON file. In this video, we are going to use this OPENROWSET and we'll be reading some specific columns from those files and we'll be using a with clause in this situation. So let me take you to the Azure portal, and here is our storage account. This is the same storage account that is connected with our Synapse. So if you see right there, this is connected in Synapse and it is called Synapse container, and that container has some folders. So I'm going to show you the same files here as well. So you can just sometime you need to take a look what are the columns you have. So here you go to containers here and then go to Synapse container, and then we have folders here. Let's go to the input folder, and I have CSV file here. If I click right there, I can go to edit and I can take a look on different columns. I have ID here, name and email. So in some of the cases I might want to just read ID and name, or I might want to read a name and email. And there could be scenarios where I do not have any header at all. So that's possible. So in those cases we can also read the data without a header and then give the name to the different columns. Now let's close this one. Let's go to the Synapse here. If you are here in the data, then you are going to see this container right there, and you will see the folders. So let's go to the input folder right there, and what we are going to do, we are going to go to CSV, and then you can go new SQL script, select top 100 rows, and here we are reading 100 rows from sample user CSV right there. So we say select top 100 from OPENROWSET, and then we provide the path here, then format is CSV and the parser is 2.0, and then we say as a result. So if I execute this, it's going to read all the columns from this file, and you see that it is in column 1 C1, C2, C3, and then it actually read header as a row or values. So you can see right there. Now this can be done or corrected by saying header row is equal to true. So then what's going to happen, our actual header will be treated as a header, and this will be our data. So let's execute that, and now we are seeing a very nice format, ID, name and email right here, and we have this data here. Now if you want to just read ID or name, what you can do, you can hit enter here, and then you will write with clause, and then it will have small parentheses, and here will say ID integer, so you provide the data type, and then you provide name and varchar. So in this case, what is happening, I'm selecting only ID and name column, and then leave this as a result. You can give any abbreviated name here, you can say rows or TBL or whatever, but I'm just going to leave this as a result. Now you can see that we have extracted ID and column names from this CSV, but how about if I will say name, and I just it's still name, but I uppercases the N here. So if I execute now, what's going to happen is created a new column, but it has all the null values. So this is a case sensitive, so whatever the column name exactly you have in the file, you have to provide. Now okay, so we can fix that, and here I'm going to go ahead and we have another column called email, and I'm going to call this varchar 100 as well, and now we can execute this. So you see that we have ID, name and email. Also what I can do, I can take this column here and then change the way I want to present. So here I want to bring the email at the first, and then I want to have ID, and then I want to have a name. So that's possible, no problem at all. It will bring you data as is once you will provide the names here. One thing remember here, we have header row equal to true. So that's why once we have the header, then we can put those columns in any order and take a look. Let's go to more examples, and here we have another example where we read specific columns from CSV. So here in this CSV, if you notice that I have, let's say, I want to show you here in this, I will go back, and then I go to Europe, and this is my CSV. So in this CSV, I have ID, first name, last name and salary, so 4 columns. Now if I go back here and then I want to read this file, but I don't want to care about header. Maybe header is not there. So I said that, okay, first row is equal to 2. Start from the second row. So read all this file from the second row, and then I will give the name by myself. Okay, so select top 10 from OPENROWSET bulk. That's a path is there for CSV, format is CSV, parser is equal to 2.0, and then I said the first row is equal to 2, so read from second, and then I use the where clause here, with clause, and then I provided a list of columns. So you see right there, I said customer ID. That's my first column. I said it's integer, and then I said first name and this worker, and then I said salary. Now, as I'm not reading the header here, and I'm putting third for the salary, that's not true because the fourth column is header. So if I run this one, what's going to happen? The values that you have seen for the last name, they will come under the salary. So that's because the salary is fourth column here, and I'm putting at the third position. So that's very important. If you are reading not reading the header, and then you have to provide the position of those columns. So in this case, what we can do, this is very easy. So this is the first position of a column, this is the second position of a column, we know that, and then this is a fourth position of that column. So if I take you back, you can see that ID is first, then we have a name on the second position, and then salary on the fourth position, and that's exactly I did. So after providing the data type, just provide the position of that column. And also, if you notice that I didn't provide the column name that I have in file, I have a cust ID, but here I'm providing a customer ID. So you can rename the columns if you like, and here say F name, so I could have say F name or F name, whatever I want to give. And here I have salary, I could say employee salary. So that's fine, whatever the names are. But as the position you are describing here, that's where it's going to extract those columns. Now if I execute this, it's going to run that and get me the good results. So you can see that I have customer ID, and then I have F name, and then I have employee salary. That's great. So just remember that always take care of the position if you are not reading the data from with the header. If you have header, I have shown you, no problem. So you can always, if you have header true, then you can just give the name of those columns, and you can change the order as well. But if you're reading from the second row, that's not header, that's actual data, then you have to be precise which column you wanted and what is the name you wanted. Now let's go to the Parquet file, and in Parquet file the order is not really important. As long as you have the correct column names, you are going to be fine. So let me take back to you to this input folder, and here is a Parquet file. If I right click here and go to the new SQL script and select top 100 rows, and you can see that I have select top 100 rows, and from open row and then bulk, that's the path of the Parquet file, and the format is Parquet. So we are reading a entire file here, but only 100 records. So here you can see passenger, you can see name, sex, age, and this is the first character of each column is the capital, so or uppercase. So I can use that. Now I can go back here, and you see that I have name, I have sex and age columns in this format, and then it should be just good to go. And let's execute that, and we should be seeing the results. But guess what happened? No record is displayed, but we have the columns here. Let's go to messages here and take a look at what exactly is the issue. Now it is in the column age of integer is not compatible with the external data type Parquet physical type double. So we can try double, or we can use the float. So that's gonna be same in this case. We don't have really these are just numbers for age, is not going to put dots and all that. So now we execute this one, and you can see that still we have some problems. Okay, so what problem we have now? It's saying, hey, guess what, the worker while it is reading is truncating. So it means that there are some columns they are bigger than 50, so they have more characters than 50, right? So let's go ahead and execute, and now we should be seeing the data. So you see that this has a pretty long names, and they were not fitting into the worker 50, and that's why we increased to worker 100. And we have sex here, the female and male. There are two types only available here, and that comes just fine in 10 characters. Now age, you can see right there, you have some values are present, some values not present. Now this was a Parquet, as you remember that we have no problem, the name can go later, or it doesn't have to be sequenced at all. So here if I will put name again, now if we execute I'm gonna call this one, and let's see, remove this one. Okay, so now if I execute, this should be fine as well, and we just change the order of those column, and you can see that we change the order, no problem at all, but the names should match exactly what you have in Parquet file. Okay, so that's great. And now we are talking about the JSON file. In the JSON file, if I go to this container, I have this JSON file. I will right click here and say select SQL script, then select top 100, and you see that it automatically read this file as a CSV file with these different parameters. That means it's going to read this entire file as a string, and then it will be converted to the JSON content. And what we are going to do, then we can use this JSON underscore value function to extract different values. So in this case, I have shown you in the past. I'm going to go and copy this anyways. So let me Control Z here, and then copy, and here I will put this value. And before I do, I am going to show you first. So let's execute this, and this is going to read the entire file, and you can see that we have a customer ID, we have name, we have email. So these are different values are present, and I can extract them. To extract each value, what we can do is call JSON value, and then here I will provide that name. So in this case, let's say if I want to extract name, and then I can call this as a name as well. Okay, so that's cool. And now it's going to extract the JSON content and also give us the value for the name column. So as was missing, and I put just as, and that's the name is right there. But now in the JSON, what I have done a little bit more, I have used here first we use the OPENROWSET, and then a bulk, that's a JSON files read as CSV, provided these parameters because without these it's not gonna read this file as a CSV. So I have done more details on the first videos, like why we need to put these parameters, but these are just a default parameter you will put when you are reading JSON. And it also knows that you can always click on the JSON file, right click and say read top 100, and this is what it is going to do. It is going to read this as a CSV and put all these parameters there for you. Now with the JSON content, you see that this is we are reading as varchar max, and then once we read that, we call as raw. So here we are applying cross apply, and with the open JSON, and then using this JSON content, that's varchar max, and then using with here and extracting different columns. So in this case, customer ID, name, email, and then we call this as JSON. So you use this one, and on top of that, as you have created JSON data here, and now you can extract those columns. So that's exactly I did. I will put this code in the description as well, so you can test by yourself. And you see that right here, I have this JSON content, then I have a customer ID here, you can see right there, and then we have name, and then we have email. So it is reading this file, and then extracting those columns from it, as we would like to only see customer ID, name, and email. And in this entire demo, we are using our built-in runtime. And if you click right there, built-in runtime, that is our serverless SQL pool that we are using to query different files and extracting only the columns those we need. I thank you very much for watching this video. I will put this script in the description, and you can take from there and experiment. I hope this video is helpful to you, and I will see you guys in next video.